Welcome to the Beard Me That Beer podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to episode number 47, Money Talks Part 2.
Yep.
Let's get to the beer.
Wow, that was no sus that time. That was great.
That was amazing. From Humble Sea Brewing Company. Dexter's Marine Laboratory. DDH Bicoastal India Pale Ale, 7.2%. Double dry hop with Citra, Wakatu, and Waiiti.
Why? Wakatu and why? That sounds like...
Waiiti.
Huh?
Waiiti? E.T. Waiiti.
Okay. In the car over, you said it, and I was like, are you saying white E.T.? Like a Caucasian extraterrestrial?
What? They said white tea.
I thought you were saying white...
E.T.
E.T. White E.T.
Waiiti.
Why are you eating?
Waiiti.
But obviously influenced by Cartoon Network's own Dexter's Laboratory. If it doesn't show in the font.
Yeah, the Dexters and the laboratory.
Yeah, which is cool. Absent a Dexter, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's bicoastal, I'm assuming, because it's using hops from California and Australia, I believe, New Zealand.
Bicoastal.
Yeah. We are a tiny of cooks. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong.
What?
We are a tiny crew of cooks.
We are a tiny cooks.
Trying our best to get pitted on the reg while making the best beery liquid known to humankind. We're here to forge new trails on a palated path of soft top kookiness and explore remote breaks entirely within your mouth. We hope you share your comments, criticisms, and love notes with us. Love you, Humble Sea.
That
was so hard to read because
you said kookiness. I thought you said something else. I thought you said cookiness. It's
Cookiness.
Like, what is cookiness? It's kookiness, like kooky.
Kookiness.
Like cuckoo for cocoa.
Not cocoa for Cocoa Puffs?
Cocoa for moco something. Yeah. Love you, Humble. That's a strong way to end that, I think.
So, yeah, I hope this is danky and it's going to be hoppy.
What kind of...
Can.
It's a... Okay, all right, interesting.
On the bottom it says, science is neat. On the bottom of the can date. 10:30. That was
That's cool.
2 weeks ago? Yeah.
10:30. 10:30 was like
2 hours ago.
Shortly. 2 hours ago.
Like an
what
hour
time
ago,
is it?
actually.
Yeah, I was like, it's not
all right, we're going to drink. Oh, wow. It smells.
Fragrant?
No, it just smells really strong.
It's like
Ooh, hoppy. And
this smells like...
danky.
This would be like the male equivalent of the perfume department, but it's just like in the middle of the woods.
Would you wear a hop cologne?
A hop cologne?
Would you wear a cologne that smells like this?
Maybe not this strong. But it does a little bit reminds me of a colonial smell.
It smells so good.
Smells like
manifest dentistry.
Dentistry.
I'm your
manifest dentistry.
Lorraine. I'm your dentistry. What? I'm
so stupid.
Hey. It
smells
Calvin Klein. He's such a dreamboat.
It smells good. Yeah.
God damn, that is so good. That is rich, super danky, super fresh, very bitter, very hoppy. All the good things about beer. It's got a real lingering bitter taste that'll probably go away in a couple more sips. God, that is...
I don't know how to describe that, but it's doing this weird thing for me where it's like, I don't really know how to describe it, but I kind of want to say it's like a narrowing kind of like field of flavor. Like usually when I drink this stuff, it's like spread throughout, right? But this one, it's kind of like it's just focused from like
do you think it could be
my tongue to like
because you ate an oily breakfast and your mouth is covered in oil? And
no. It's just like it's very good. It's just
It's getting better with each chase I take. It's so good. Delicious. Hoppy. It's got that that generic double dry hop taste that kind of most of these double dry hop beers taste like.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'll say, of the ones I've had, not that I've ever had a Bicoastal.
I think that's more of a marketing.
I know. It's like, that doesn't sound like anything.
Double dry hop is also
Bicoastal.
kind of marketing.
I'm a heterocoastal kind of.
Someone's going to come up with a tri-coastal.
A menage a... Never mind.
Okay. Menage a trois of
but
coasts.
of this variety of beer, this one's up there. I like this one.
It doesn't taste like 7.2% because I think the hop taste is so strong that it
tastes stronger than
really
7.2.
Really? I don't
think
think
so.
I think I taste hops. The actual taste of hops versus the taste
David,
of
we're
beer.
nearly 50 episodes in, and I still haven't quite wrapped my head around
What a hop
that
is?
means.
What a hop
is that?
is?
Yeah. What is...
All right, let's start from the beginning.
Wait, hold on, save this. This could be content for something else.
No. That's not going to be that important.
But it could be.
No, it's not.
We can make
I
it. We
promise
can
it.
elevate
100%.
importance.
I
Money talks can wait. So we have to do this.
Have you done marijuana? Have you injected marijuana before?
I will neither confirm or deny that.
Sam has. Yeah, but do you know there's different strains of it?
I get the concept. I just don't know.
But hops, each hop, each strain, each flavor of ice cream has its own unique flavor, right? But at the end of the day, it's still kind of like, sugar, weed, hops.
I get it, but I guess I just don't care.
I'm trying to make you care.
You can't make someone care about something.
Come over here.
No.
Give me a big kiss.
All right, this is good. Good job, Humble Sea.
I love the artwork. I love how the whole can is, and the top is white, too.
It's a very nice look. And it tastes good.
Tasty.
It's great. Overall,
10 out of 10. Would drink again.
Definitely. And we will.
Rhymes.
Oh, thank God for secondary cans. Okay.
Thank God for 4-packs.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, Santa Cruz, California, too. Never heard of this place, but yeah. Money Talks Part 2. We're starting with question 10.
Okay.
And why don't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Me, okay.
Me, myself.
Number 10. Of the things you have bought in your life, which do you remember most happily? What do you remember most happily? Staring at my Funko collection.
What have I bought with my own money?
And now it doesn't say with your own money.
Well,
it just says, what have you bought?
I mean, you're going to buy it with someone else's money? Then
You
it's
can.
a gift. Then you didn't really buy it.
You could have a sugar
You
daddy.
didn't really buy it, did you?
It was purchased for you.
Yeah, they're different.
No, you picked it.
100%. Yeah,
You picked it.
Still a gift.
No.
I guess no, and you can't even say that work gifts you stuff because you worked for it.
But
You
did
worked
you
for your
though?
own- Yeah, I did.
I feel like it's just
Are you saying you don't work for your money?
what? I work hard for the money.
It's raining men.
But yeah. No, is there something like this for
I'm
you?
trying to think, but you keep saying these stupid things, so I have to rebuttal with
So my
stupider
brain
things.
has to reset,
No, I
hard
have
reset
to
every
rebuttal
time.
with stupider things.
You don't have to rebuttal.
I have to.
It's just
yes,
going
I
to
do.
devolve into
Take your shirt off. Samson. Something that made me happy that I bought.
Any time to think?
No, not really.
I mean, because it sounds
I would
like...
say my computer,
Oh, okay.
my iMac. Yeah, that makes me pretty happy.
And
It was pricey too.
when did you get it?
Last year. 2 years. 2 years. 2019.
Now, do you
no,
think...
2018. 2019 or 2018?
I was going to say, do you think you've gotten your money's worth at this point?
For the amount of time,
For the amount of use it gets, do you think
Use?
it's been worth it?
yeah. Time, not so much. I hope that this computer lasts for like another 7 years.
Well, technology. Shelf
I
life.
have a Mac Mini from 2012 that still works.
It's not on right now.
No, but it still works.
It's good.
I hope to actually turn it into a server.
Oh, very cool. Anything else?
No.
No, just computer. Cool. Okay.
So which Anchor are you happy about buying?
Which Anchor?
Like your capture card?
No. We're talking. Never mind.
No, we're talking about
know.
things that I don't hate.
Things that made you most happy. I'm sure there's one thing that I could, absolutely say has been like. Well, I mean, if we're being real, like majority of the stuff I spend my money on is food, and I have had quite a few meals where I'm like,
Today.
I could die after this last bite. That was. It's not going to get any better than that. But
that's pretty.
I don't think that's the answer they're looking for.
I like that feeling.
Isn't that so satisfying when you buy a meal for yourself and like
that is,
it's just like that was perfect.
Like it's worth the amount or better than what you paid for.
I like when you pay for like like what could be considered a cheap meal, and then you have it and you're like, fuck, I feel like I owe them money for what that was. That was so good.
Literally every time I went to Rock Bottom, but that's because I was friends with everyone, I think.
Well, that's like
it's just
the company tax.
10 out of 10, beer, food, friends.
Good times.
Yeah, hookups.
I don't know. Probably like this is a tough one. I'll say the way I'm feeling right now, I'll say like maybe my pedal board.
Which one?
The one I replaced my last one with, which is the exact same one.
Wait, you bought two?
I've bought the same pedal board twice because the last one like shorted on me. It still works, but like the UI is like a little goofy now. Like it's not as responsive as it was, so it's hard to get to some menus.
You couldn't fix it?
I mean, it probably can, and I could just have two of the same pedal. But it's like I think there was a grounding issue too. So when I plug into it, there's a little bit of a hiss. Not a giant one, but
a hiss or a buzz.
It's a noise that it shouldn't be making.
Okay.
Yeah, but I replaced it, and it is my favorite pedal
10
to
out of
use.
10 would buy again.
It's a bit of a learning curve trying to figure out how all that works, but like I don't know. I've been very happy with how
here's a weird question. Do you use is there an app?
No.
You don't use that, or they don't have an app?
I mean, like they have like
most pedal boards that are like one pedal board, but you can do everything, have an app because it's much easier to design.
Yeah, no, there's like I can there's an app you can download to your computer and then just plug it in and get updates on like the firmware or whatever. But like
no, like designing it, like I want a compressor here, EQ here, and it saves it to your pedal board from your computer.
No, you can do all that in the pedal.
I know you can do that in all the pedal. I'm saying, is there a program that does that?
I mean, there might be. I don't use it. But anyway, it is.
I can just see Sam like.
No, that's part of why I like doing it.
Click.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't know. Go.
I'm very finicky with my taste for that kind of thing. But it's not the most intuitive thing. But when you kind of get it, you're like, oh, this thing's so useful. It's the TC Helicon, the Voice Live 3 Extreme. It's very expensive, but
what,
amazing.
$500?
No, it's like $700.
$700? That's not bad for any pedal board.
Yeah, and it does everything. Well, it does most things pretty good with some effort. But yeah,
I have one over there too.
do you? Oh well,
TC Helicon.
It's a
Line 6 Pi.
yeah.
Old one.
You've used that quite a bit. The only thing I would say,
I only use it.
the only thing I kind of lament with it is that like I've had it for a little while now, and it might be because like COVID hasn't helped at all, but like I probably haven't used it much outside of like home stuff.
$1,400 on pedal boards.
No. The first one I got used for cheaper.
I was about to say, Jesus Christ.
It's, I mean, and it was over time. It wasn't like I bought it back to back. So, which, knowing me, maybe.
Buying 3 Xbox 360s.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to deal with customer service. I'll just buy a new one. Idiot. But yeah, that's it. That's all I'll say for now.
Anxiety is worth $700.
I'm sure I could think of something. Yeah, it is. It really is. If I could probably think of something better, but I'll settle for that right now.
Those are good things. I've been looking into a new one or a new rack.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Did I read it?
I think I read the first one.
Okay. Is there something you regret buying? Why?
When we did I know previously I said a thing I bought for the show. I'm trying to think if there's something I could think of more recently, or maybe something I neglected to think of.
Wasn't that last year or this year?
It was on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
I mentioned it.
No, it was this year. Yeah,
it was for when we started streaming.
It was $200 something, and
I've used it once to test.
If you want, you
kind
can
of
bring it over and we can use it next time. How about that? Would that make you feel better?
No, I don't really care. I really don't care. So
I think we should bring it over and test out 3 inputs. Just saying.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay.
I think this is honestly. I think everything I buy, there's a little regret.
Right?
Yeah. What's it called? Buyer's remorse.
Yeah. That's a real thing.
Yeah. Because like looking at my Osmo Plus now that I haven't used, I turned it on like a week ago just to see how it's doing. Still works fine. Still works great. Hooks up everything. But DJI just mows through different versions of their product and upgrades so fast. Now it's useless. They don't sell anything anymore for it. And to make it better is still thousands of dollars of money. But I could make it better.
Okay. All right.
But I don't have any regret about it. I do have a regret that I haven't used it that much at the beginning.
You just feel a little guilty that you haven't got as much use out of it.
Yeah, because now it's like $300, and I bought it for like $700. The Ronin, the same thing. They came out with a new version of the SC.
Yeah, they just released a new one, right?
Too. That being said, the only like real big update is like the battery lasts 4 more hours longer, but the battery already lasts 8 hours. So it's like I'm not a snowboarder, so I'm not going to need it for 16 hours.
I mean, and for one, that is huge to take on a snowboard with you.
The new one, the smaller one I'm trying to think of things. I usually don't regret things I buy because I buy them with lots of thought.
Research.
Yeah. I buy the thing I want because I want it and I need it.
To literally try to look around.
It's hard for me because it's like, I guess, no, I don't even regret. Yeah, most of the things I don't regret here.
Well, I could say something.
Go ahead.
Since you mentioned that, I feel like this money episode is really like setting us up to look like just like spoiled assholes a little bit.
I mean, we are assholes.
We are assholes. I'll give you that. But like, I
think we've said it enough where we're like very blessed to have our job still.
Oh, no. That's not what I mean.
Oh.
I mean like maybe a little bit. But like, it's just like, no, like, because I shouldn't have. Like, I should be better about saving stuff, but I have, I'll say, expensive-ish taste with an impulsive want for things.
You also eat out
like
3
a
times
monster.
a day.
Not 3 times a day. I eat out often. Restaurants and stuff. But
on an average, how many times do you eat out a day?
To answer this question, to answer this question, David mentioned his DJI Osmo Plus. I have a drone that I've flown twice. Incredible little piece of technology, the DJI Spark. I really like it, but I would say that was a bit of an impulse buy. Like, I love that thing.
It's not that expensive though.
When I bought it,
$225, $275.
Nope,
it was more than that. The Spark,
the base one maybe like $300, but I bought like the Fly More. So it was probably close to like at the time maybe like almost $400.
And now they're making
$450
for like $250.
Now like I should have waited or did a little more research, because I bought it thinking, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get like a license, register it, which fine, not a big deal, it's not that difficult, but I guess I kind of didn't take into account that people are just weird about drones, and me being like the oddly self-conscious person I am, I don't like having unwanted attention. So if you take a thing like that out to a place where there may or may not be people, everyone's going to flock around, and the general consensus is people are just weird about
It's an
them. Like
attention grabber
they're like,
for sure.
oh, why are you doing that? What are you doing here? Or something like that. And I'd be like, well, I'm within my rights. I can fly
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But, and I also didn't take into account that like, it's weirdly
the county of San Diego is literally the worst place to fly a drone.
Yeah, it's just like there's like really weird like zoning kind of things. Like you can fly it here, you can't fly it here, and then other places it's like a huge gray area where you're like you could try to fly it here, but you might get in trouble.
You'll just get a letter with a fine.
It's like it's kind of like how I felt about busking, where it's like I can do it here? Question mark. I'm just gonna try it, and then maybe I'll get in trouble. It's like
I think
bizarre.
busking's a little safer though because you're not what some people would consider invading on their privacy.
It depends.
But that being said, drones are like can really only be flown in public areas. The zoning maps are there for a reason. Like you can't fly it in a neighborhood, most neighborhoods, because they're
not supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think San Diego is just a giant flight path because we have 3 airports.
It's if you look at it on a
Navy
map,
base
that's
and a military, Air Force base, and then a fucking like a Marine base. Like
so unless you have like a commercial license and like go through and get all the permits and everything, it's weird for like
insurance from the city. I looked it up. I was like,
Yeah.
do I need this, and this? And then they like these 2 people I was talking to at City Hall. I was literally talking to them, like they're like, oh, you need to go to them. And they're like, no, you need to go to them.
Yeah.
Like, I was like...
There's a lot of redirecting and no one's quite giving you clear, concise answers. But, so there's that. So there's like a whole thing. And me being me, I hate dealing with any of that extra kind of shit. I would rather just use the thing and then just, that's it.
Does that drone have like a little tripod? Like you can attach a tripod to it?
No.
Okay.
So it's like
then it could just be a camera.
You could. It's like there's like a gimbal on it, but like here's the thing. So at the time, it's very awesome. It has some really cool features, but it's more of like it's not like it's like an entry level drone, and like I got it. The thing that got me interested was it had like that follow me feature, and like for that price point, it looked amazing because it's like, oh yeah, it's like a hands-off thing. You can use it, and it's almost like a really long selfie stick if you use it correctly. But so it only shoots maxed out at like 1080p, which amazing. That's HD, right? But like it's just all that extra stuff on top makes it a little difficult for me to justify using it a lot.
Yeah, and I think I've asked Sam this. You can't even fly it in your house. You can't even let it...
No, you can.
Oh, you can?
You can, but it's like... You have to have a lot of practice because they're very
You can't just...
odd
there's no lock to it? You can't lock the altitude and the
you can,
long...
You can, but in practice, like that stuff will drift. Like even if it's stationary, like... You have to watch it. Like you can't you can't, it's not truly hands-free. And to couple with that, since there have been innovations made, and like for instance, recently DJI just released like what's the Mini 2, which is this is a huge thing. It's like, so it is a drone, but it is beneath like the requirements in terms of weight to have to register
You can fly it wherever you want.
So it's a drone, but it's technically considered more of like a toy.
To the FCC and to all
FCC,
whoever's in charge of that, it's not a drone. According to their,
it's a toy by their guidelines.
But you know, next year they'll fucking change it.
They might, but and like which is incredible. And the flight time's been boosted. Like the one I have, if you're lucky, maybe you get like 12-15 minutes out of this new one. It's like half an hour and it shoots up to like 4K, which I'm like, that's incredible. I should have waited and got that.
That Pro controller works with it too.
Yeah, but the point being, like, maybe I just should have waited. I should have did a little more research.
10 minutes later, a drone is what you regret. I'll say the Ronin, but just because I don't use it enough.
But I mean, I feel like that was like, people listening, maybe they don't have them and they're curious about it. So there's a little bit about
Money
that for
Talk / drones.
Just a little mini segment. You could take that on its own.
I'll say the Ronin just because I don't use it enough. But the thing about the Ronin is, it's gonna be a gimbal.
It's gonna function. It doesn't need anything else.
It's never gonna be a gimbal. It's never gonna like even the motors are not like there's little motors, but they're not they're not super mechanical where I'm going to need to take it apart and maintain. It will be okay for years to come. But I do regret because I'm not using it as much as I could, especially now. Now it's like
we're very limited.
We can't go anywhere, or we choose not to go anywhere because we are
responsible.
We
like to think
as we are right here next to each other.
I'm leaning over the table, speaking directly into your mouth.
I'm licking his kneecap right now.
What? Okay. All right. Well, that was a nice little.
All right.
TED Talk.
So, your turn.
Not my turn. Number 12. Did you receive, all in bold, pocket money / an allowance, unbold, when you were a child? Was it enough for you? What did you usually spend it on?
So, for the most part, this is super easy for me. For my parents, I'd received nothing. Except
so
for like holiday money, birthday money, Christmas money, whatever.
Occasion money.
My grandma would always give me $5 every Sunday when I would see her.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man.
So grandma loves her grandchildren. $5. That's it. But we would go to the 99-cent store.
And you'd stretch that.
That's 5 fucking things. Or it's 50 things of ramen.
Oh.
Looking back, I should have bought the ramen. But it'd be like, I would go through the Game Boy Pocket a lot. So I'd buy like 4 packs of batteries and like an ice cream. And then maybe something else. And $5, done. I was pretty content with that $5. Looking back, if I had saved all that money, I'd have like
a lot.
Do you ever take $200 a year? Let's say 8 years.
Yeah, that would have been quite a chunk of change going into your teens.
But I did like playing that pocket or my. Game Boy.
It's amazing, like the trouble we could save ourselves as children if we were just a little more aware.
If you are 6 years old and listening to this podcast,
which you shouldn't,
don't spend a dime. Save it all your birthday money.
Yeah.
If you get an allowance, everything.
I'm like, you live in a home. I'm assuming
rent free
with family, and you don't have bills to pay, and I would say more often than not. Not always.
I think if you're lucky,
probably your expenses are generally covered by other people.
For college,
you could, maybe, or at least a chunk of it.
I'd say the first year at least,
or at least
save,
or at least your books,
if not all your books.
But yeah,
that's what I got.
There's no financially conscious children.
I got $5, and then I never really got money from my parents. I think when I first started high school, like the first week I got money for food there, and then it was like, no, this is fucking expensive. Take a lunch or don't eat. I would say I think I was a little less fortunate than Sam's.
Okay.
I think I'm right in saying that.
I will say
that is correct.
You definitely
yeah, you were a poor boy.
What? You don't know my home life. Oh my gosh. But a little different situation in my house. So I think like elementary school and stuff, like we would package our lunches. So I'll say I did not get an allowance. Okay. We were not that kind of family. But
actually, it makes.
We didn't get an allowance, but our parents, like if we asked for stuff and we were good, our parents would be like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
But I feel like your dad would be like, "Hey, can you help out a little bit?"
Yeah. Like we had a functioning relationship where like we could get stuff if we were on our best behavior and if we helped when asked.
Yeah,
which that's great. I mean, like if you're in a house and you're a kid and you have that relationship with your parents, awesome. Don't take that for granted. Love your family.
Yeah.
On
my side, we didn't have that, so it wasn't great.
Yeah.
I did get. But holidays were great.
Yeah. Take what you get, man. And then middle school, I think my parents' working situations changed a little bit, so we had a little less time to pre-make lunches and stuff. So my mom was like, "Oh, here's a couple bucks, and then just get lunch that way." And I didn't. Okay, full disclosure, I did not always buy lunch. I would just skip sometimes and then just save that. Yeah, pocket that. Half the time it'd be like in our injury episode, I was talking like, oh, I would just go to the gas station, grab some stuff over there. Like, I would do that a lot.
I would say lunches at elementary were perfectly priced, dirt cheap. They weren't great, but they were dirt cheap. Middle school,
so
it got a tiny bit better with the introduction of Little Caesars pizzas. But there was you buy Little Caesars pizza or bean burritos and soda, or you go get cafeteria.
So I was gonna say
the introduction of classes,
lunch options,
rich and poor people.
Yeah,
and then the introduction of high school, where all the food is actually great. How much are you willing to wait?
Right. It's we should talk about that right real quick as an aside again. So like elementary school, even playing field if you weren't bringing your own stuff in.
Socialism at its finest.
Just everybody gets the same.
Did you want to milk and your food?
You got to milk and gruel.
Put your number in. Done.
You're covered.
My food was good.
No, I didn't get it because I didn't.
You had packed lunches.
Yeah. I would just bring like sack lunch or whatever.
I still don't know how lunches work in elementary school. I was like, are you too poor? Or like,
is it like a food stamp program?
I think it was based on your money. And I think your income.
I think it was like your parents, like if you were going to participate in that program, they paid a fee up front,
maybe,
and that covered it. I don't know.
It was. I know. I don't. I was a kid. I was
a kid. I didn't ask that.
At some point, I went with a friend to the breakfast morning thing. I was like, I'm just hanging out with him. And then I got in line, and the lady's like, put your number in. And I put my number in. And then it works. And I was like, oh.
What?
So I got like a milk and breakfast, and the breakfast was beyond.
Maybe it's like
lunch.
You had a child tab, like at a bar. And at the end of the year, they billed it.
I think because my parents' income was so low, I was part of the program, but it was just like money just going into the program. Like, I wasn't using it for years.
Oh, I wonder where it went.
Grade. Yeah. Like, no, it just kept stockpiling. Like, boom, like, it was like a little deposit.
Could you check it out?
So my aunt worked at the cafeteria, and she's like, Mijo, you can eat here every morning until you're done and don't have to pay anything. Like, I had that much. I didn't realize I was in that program.
Wow. You'd think somebody would have told you.
This is like a terrible thing. Like people who are like, hey, you can save a little bit of money by not feeding your kid at home and letting the school take care of it. I mean, tax-wise, people are paying for that. But like not knowing that. Like communication,
like someone should have told you.
Yeah,
like you would have thought that would have filtered down.
I'm sure it's much better now with how communication works, but yeah,
maybe
I would hope so.
And then going into middle school, like you said, they kept that in place, but then they expanded the options to if you want to pay a little extra. We got some personal pan pizzas, or some salads, or like some chicken sandwiches, or like
chicken sandwiches, pizzas, and burritos, and then candy and shit like that. But no sandwiches.
I was gonna say, so I know,
no salads.
Your middle school was different. Well, I mean, like I'm assuming it was probably similar, but like, did you like the way they had it organized? There was the general lunch stuff, and then was it like little, like in high school they had like the little stand
at my
things?
Middle school, how it was built, it didn't. They had one stand. And it was at the gym. There's a clock tower, and there's like two doors that open up into an empty space, and that's where they put it. So there would be two lines going into this one fucking, and then like 5 lines for the cafeteria.
Interesting,
but it was one cart.
I think if I remember, I might be getting it confused with high school where we had them plotted throughout, and they served different things.
Mission Hills, it was plotted out. Yeah. I remember not different things, but I always remembered that the cafeteria had the best chicken sandwiches, fried and grilled. Remember pretzels?
No, I didn't eat that. So I know we had those options in high school, and I took advantage sometimes, but I generally would not.
Yeah.
Like I would just not eat.
Going back to thinking about this bullshit, I'm like, man, I should have eaten better.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I should have pack lunch.
No, I was too busy socializing.
Yeah. Like, get a packed lunch. Get a nice Sammy with a nice meat. Some delis. Some nice fresh deli meat.
Some hoagies.
Not some hoagies, not some hogers. But yeah. We didn't get allowances, but Sam...
I would get lunch money.
And I got $5. I guess I had an allowance, but for my grandma, who just did it out of pure love.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Who I don't see that much more, but COVID, that I'm totally fine with that.
Okay.
She's old.
Yeah, you protect her too.
2-time cancer survivor.
Hey, congrats.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's amazing.
Like, I don't want to fucking...
Don't jinx it.
I don't want to be that guy. Be like, David, you had COVID and you killed your grandma. I also...
That's got to feel terrible.
I'm going to say PSA right now. No one should want to be that person that like goes out and gives everyone COVID and kills one person.
I think we get it.
PSA. What the fuck was that?
Windows open, people screaming in the back.
That guy. In about 30 seconds, you'll hear some sirens. All right,
moving
next
on.
Question. Because we've only done 2 questions.
Jesus,
and we're
and we're
35 minutes in. You read it, yeah?
Number 13. What would you tell someone if they asked how much you get paid?
I would tell them the truth.
That's cool.
I've had one person ask me that as a former coworker, Mikey. Mm-hmm. We had worked at the same time, then I went to UCSD and he kept working there. And he's like, "Oh, do you mind if I ask how much?" And if you ask, I'm going to tell you. Mm-hmm. I don't think we talk about it enough.
How much do you make
right now? Mm-hmm. I make $69,979 a year.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty good.
Make a little less than $70,000 a year. And for my job,
like 30 years old, it's pretty impressive.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
For my job, for what I do, compared to union, I have like that consistently. It's pretty good. It's like technical director level, like lower end.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I'm super
Congrats.
stoked. Yeah, thank you. For the people that don't understand salaries, I think it's $31.12 an hour.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You're doing well. So congrats.
I mean, I did something to get that, so.
Yeah, I mean, like you it's not a handout.
I held myself
for it.
hostage, basically.
You've paid your dues.
Well, no, I got a job offer, and then I told them I need to see it in writing, and then I asked my current job, "Hey, can you match?"
You've paid your dues, and you've worked the system.
One reason I don't think we talk about money enough is because I think people get more screwed over often. Mm-hmm. And if people talked about it, it's like, "Oh, I don't make that much. I want a raise," and you go get a raise.
I think
that's why.
I think it's because I think a lot of employers discourage it.
Yeah.
Because then if people start comparing notes, then they'll complain, and then they'll have to shell out more, and that keeps their overheads down if they discourage that. So
I'm a firm believer in if you take care of the people taking care of
the clients,
won't
complain. Yeah.
There's no one is losing.
Right. I'm just saying. I think that's what's out there.
Those are bad employers.
Yeah. Which is most. I didn't answer this yet. So,
you probably tell them to mind their own fucking business.
That's exactly what I'd say. I will share that info with friends, family, people I'm close to.
I know Sam
everyone
well
else can fuck off.
Not to ask them.
Yeah, and even if like David, if we're close enough and you ask me, I'll tell you hesitantly. I don't like shit.
But I'll never talk to you ever again.
That's just the kind of person I am. I don't like being pressed for personal info a lot of the time.
I would say asking a question isn't being pressed. Maybe multiple times if if I ask you right now how much you make and you don't say anything, I'm not pressing you. I ask a question.
No,
and that's it. But I know Sam enough.
But
not
it's
to ask the question.
It's also kind of situational. Like right now, we're on mic. I don't want to. I could tell you if I feel like it,
but I won't.
I'm definitely I'm a private person like that. Mm-hmm. I don't like sharing that if I don't need.
Also,
to.
There's the money thing. Mm-hmm.
Because then if I do that, then that kind of feeds into my weird personality quirks a bit where I'm like, I feel like I'm inviting comparisons, and I don't like having that in the back of my mind when I'm talking with somebody. I like to just take you, like, view you as a person rather than like I'm like, well, they're better?
Yeah.
Am I better? They're beneath. I just like seeing a person for a person.
I think in our society, money really does play.
It does. It
plays
affects
into your psyche of like, where are you on the level?
it shifts your perspective, and I don't much care for
But
that.
I'm saying it because I implore people, the two people that probably listen to this podcast that do the same thing I do, to go get a raise. Right now is probably impossible because there's no work. But
Look at you, man. Motivational speaker.
I just don't want, like, I think the work I do is like taken for granted.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, because it's just like it's like an IT job. It's like when everything works, it's like,
No one.
what's the point of having you if everything works? And then when things are broken, it's like, what's the point of having you?
If it's not working, yeah. No, it's a thankless job.
It's what's our former Mandeville manager used to say, it's selfless, extremely selfless, never about you. It's always about whoever's on the stage and the audience. Never about you. So it's super selfless. But I think, like, coming back from COVID, I think now people realize, wow, we need all this. We need art. We need theater. We need shows. And hopefully post-vaccine we'll have a big boom.
We'll see. We'll see in the future.
The creative boom.
That's great. Okay, moving on.
My turn?
I think it's your turn.
If a young person wanted to know what career they should pursue to make as much money as possible, what would you recommend they do? I'll answer it very honestly and straightforward. Some sort of cybersecurity, something to do with internet. Not even computer-based anymore. I would say something to do with the net, online, cloud-based stuff. Programming.
I mean, okay. Honestly, I don't know how to answer this question. I'm sure it's some kind of technical job, some thankless technical job.
I would feel bad for them asking that, just because as a kid, it's like, oh, wow, you only want to make them go do what you want.
It's because, like, that's not the conversation I would want to have. I would rather motivate, like, a younger person to be like, find what you're interested in,
I think
and
both
find
of us would
something
say,
like that.
Like, what do you want to do without the money?
Yeah.
But I'm answering it as like,
I
this is
get
what you should do.
So I'm saying, I don't know. I would like, because that's not something I'm interested in, so I don't follow up on the facts. I don't check the statistics.
Currently, if it was a child and they would probably graduate in 10 to 15 years, I'd be like, do something that involves finding an alternate fuel source or figuring out how to get hydrogen off of everything else, because that's the fuel source of the future.
But if I'm perfectly honest, and I was having this conversation, I would be like, I can't give you any advice, because by the time you're of working age, the job or field you're going to be working in probably doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So,
or it's so changed that I have real, like,
my frame of reference is going to be so obsolete at that point. It's going to be like I
was thinking about frame of reference.
Speaking in a dead language.
I was like, because I have a lot of, like, Instagram friends that are very strongly opinionated and
do you?
But gender-based opinion too, because then it's like then I thought about like the abortion question, like, oh, like what, and then I was like, as a man, I was like, I don't.
And then
even,
you stop.
No, I was like, I don't even have the right to say anything.
You can have an opinion.
I can have an opinion, but that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah,
I don't get an abortion.
Yeah, no,
so
I would.
Then my shit don't fucking matter.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done. There, do whatever you want.
If it's something that is not affecting on you, you can have an opinion. But
I'm going farther beyond the opinion. It's like, don't even open your mouth.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. I'm saying, like, objectively speaking, I'm like, you can have an opinion. You shouldn't be allowed to have any weight in what you say.
Should not open your mouth about it. Yeah. And this is the same, like, the question is, like, I don't have a mindset to know what the future holds for these jobs, but I can say anything internet-based or alternate fuel source, as much as the oil companies will try to stop you.
But yeah.
Next question.
All right.
15.
Number 15. All right, we're cooking. Do you and your friends lend money to each other? How much are you willing to lend or borrow?
I have always followed the rule: do not lend money to your friends. One, they're your friend, so it gets very can get convoluted and
Depending.
But if I had, there's like 3 people I would probably lend money to. The B side of that answer is I don't have a lot of money to lend because I only recently started saving. So, but it would depend on the situation of lending. That's
You want to? I was like, you want to expand?
How much? How much
Like,
would I?
or are
lend?
we talking like? Are we talking like minor lending, or is this like?
I would, like I said, depend. Like if someone has cancer and needs money, like I would probably pocket out more money for that.
So dire situation.
Versus like I crashed my car. All right, well that's your fault.
Okay.
Like you had control at some point of that situation.
What if you're just out to lunch with a friend and they're like a couple cents short, or like a buck?
I mean, that's
a couple
not
bucks short.
That's not lending. I'm paying for. How many times have I paid for us going to rock bottom and then you just
No.
you pay it forward?
That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like
card declines or something.
yeah,
Then
maybe.
I cover it. It's fucking what, $15, $16.
So okay, I get it. I understand.
That's easy.
It's just your view is different. So
Like I said at the beginning, it's like it depends on the situation. Like if it's like you need some sort of radiation therapy or you're like in some serious.
So it sounds like unless it's a dire situation,
I rather help you in other ways than monetary. Like if you get,
That's what I was
if you
looking
get
for.
kicked out of your apartment and you need a place to like chill
Like,
for like a
come-
week
come
or
check
two,
up.
yeah, come hang out here. If you can help around, clean up, like buy some groceries here and there, cool.
that's the answer I was looking for.
But this is a question about money. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay your rent. You can come hang out here for 2 weeks and then you got to get out. But I will lend money. But I, like that food question, like no, I just like covering lunch. That's not lending money.
I was just gauging like your perspective. That's all.
I'm not Jerry Seinfeld, where
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm never gonna get that impression.
But yeah, what about you?
Friends, I think I was more likely to lend out money when I was younger, but as I've grown older, I have less friends.
I've had a friend ask me for money,
Like
and I
legitimately,
told them no.
like,
It was a couple.
May I
hundred,
broach?
It was a couple $100. I was
Was
like,
it
no,
for
I'm
like
not
a
going to do
serious
that.
thing, or
But I
like-
also told her like, if you need to crash here a couple more, I was literally letting her crash, and like, it was a very terrible situation. Like, I had her crash. I was like, you can stay here as long as you need, but I'm not going to lend you money.
Okay, let me reframe this a little bit. I would I'd hesitate to lend money. I'd have to find out what the circumstances were, if it was like really like they really needed it. But like kind of like David, I would rather just do like an alternative rather than just shelling out money.
I
like
mean,
if I can help in other ways.
I'd rather
right?
do alternative, but to the question, yes, I would lend money, but I need to see what the situation
Like you have
is.
to,
Yeah.
I would say you have to justify
Yeah.
why I would be doing this.
Like, did you like? And if I'm seeing you on Instagram at a bar and partying, I'm not giving you nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
like
like-
I'm evaluating what I know of you and your character before I even consider.
I know we're friends, but I need. This is basically an investment, and I need to see if I'm getting my money back.
Very businesslike of you.
Well, no, it's just like it's clear cut. Money is not
No, I
for
get it.
friends.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, every time me and Sam bring up the like, are we gonna monetize? Are we never gonna like? It's always like, I don't want to because I don't want money involved in this. But I am cool with, like I told him, I was like, maybe we can do like a nonprofit where we don't make money and we just fucking put it back into gear, merch, and we don't even sell the merch. We just send it to people. Like I feel much better about that because then it's, hey, why is David?
It's less like you're-
this money,
Yeah.
Like, but I'm putting just as much work. No, let's just nonprofit it. We don't take anything. We have a good time. And then if people sponsor us, then it's like, cool. Sponsor us with beer. Sponsor us with, yeah.
When you think of it that way, there's less room for exploitation.
I think I said this, money is the root of all evil. And
we've already firmly established.
Money changes people. I think money will change me. Like if I am making six figures, I think it will change how I am. I mean, just going from $40,000 to $70,000 a year, it changed me.
Just going. That's a huge
compared to 100 to 200. That's a big change. You know, I think at my level, yeah, it probably is a bigger change. But I'm just saying, as that gap that changed me so much. So imagine like jumping up double.
Yeah. No, like I've noticed that too. For I know this isn't quite the question, but like every time I've noticed. Like I've got got a raise or something. Like I've noticed my habits changed. Like, I would just be skirting by with what I was making before, just making ends meet. And then whenever I would get a buff, I'd be like, okay. So you would logically think, well, then I can do the same things, but now I have a little more wiggle room. But then it's just like your situation changes. So it's like your taste and stuff, like you grow a little bit more. Probably to your detriment, where it's like, well, now I'm just in the same thing.
I mean, I'll go personal. It's like 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, I was like going to the grocery store and like, no, I can't. I got cheap brands only, the most cheapest shit ever. And now it's like I just get what I want. So yeah, just like livelihood changes.
Yeah, I don't know. You just constantly.
Yeah, but back to the lending. Yeah, it depends on the situation. There's a great thing called GoFundMe now that
crowdfund.
I'm like, I love it for the basis that there are actual people that need it, but sometimes there's like people that don't need it.
I like the idea behind it, but then to a degree, because then if you take it to a certain point, then it's just like. It's like, well, what is this for now?
But these websites have like, hey, this person's lying about it, or like,
people will use it to like give themselves a leg up.
If our federal government didn't spend billions and billions of dollars on military, we'd probably be probably didn't need crowdfunding or
Okay, well, I'll just explicitly answer this real quick. I'll just say, friends, more than likely. I won't unless you give me a good justification or explanation. I might consider it. Family is a little different for me. I think I'm more likely to lend for family. Just, those bonds, they're different.
And that's me and Sam are different with family, so I probably wouldn't.
Well, yeah.
But I don't think my family would even ask me because I'm so, I guess, estranged.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. Like... And it kind of depends for me too, like which family
like
or members are asking.
$100, do you kind of cough that up no matter what?
Yeah. Like immediate family.
But
definitely.
if I asked for $100, you'd be like, well, why?
Well, okay, I'll just say it wouldn't be a no questions asked. I would be like,
that's what I said. Why?
Explain, yeah.
But your dad would be different. But that's because your dad has probably given up millions of dollars just to raise you.
At least $1 million at this point.
That's the 18 thing.
Yeah.
0 to 18 is $1 million. Okay, next question. Did you read the last one?
I think
Number 16, when you are walking around a big city, where on your body is a safe place to keep your money? Is it safe in a handbag? I don't really carry money, but I guess if I'm in a big city, which I'm not, I guess more of a travel question, maybe.
I would say, yeah.
If I was traveling to some place I've never been to, I would be that person that's overtly like safe. I would have 2 wallets. I'd have a fake one and a real one.
Okay.
And I have those text alerts from my bank account, so I know when it's being used. Cash wise, I would have not that much, but yeah. Back pocket is probably the worst place to have your wallet when you are in a place unknown to yourself.
It's
but
good.
I also wear skinny jeans.
So you really can't do that anyway.
Yeah, so I'm going to feel you grabbing my cheek.
It's going to be very intimate.
Yeah.
And we're going to be close.
Yeah. I'm going to kiss you and then punch you in the face.
Or just caress my buttocks.
Yeah. I'll charge you for it.
Is this a
and
proposition?
You know those stupid wallets that has the radio frequency blocker too?
Oh, gosh. Oh, really?
I think all wallets are
Just that lead covered wall.
They're not lead.
I know,
it's just like an RDF blocker. I think most wallets you buy online are set like RDF wireless block.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Because people carried that fucking charger around and just can your butt.
Ridiculous to me. But
yeah,
I mean, do something better with your time. But so where would you carry it then?
If
for all the thieves that listen,
wallet, I would carry it in my fanny pack.
Like your primary, like the one you would use.
In my fanny pack, yeah.
So
before COVID, I was actually using a fanny pack because I was wearing a lot more shorts. And if we all know, men's shorts are great, big pockets,
baggy.
But I have 2 sets of keys. One pair of keys is like 95 keys, so it's
95 pounds,
3 pounds. So what does that do to shorts? Just slowly
sag
so
until you're slinging.
So I started, and at the point I was like, I had a phone, I had my Game Boy, I had another phone just to play a certain game on Apple OS. I don't have any more. I got it on that phone, but like I had a Game Boy, like I wanted all that stuff near me, so I got a fanny pack, and I actually really like fanny packs now.
People shit on them, but they're awesome.
Traveling, yeah. Though, I don't wear it when I'm at work because at that point I'm like work keys, wallet, and phone.
because you're locked in with your day to day. Like this is my carry.
Because I walk to work, I have all that stuff around me. I had the fanny pack, and that never sags. And walking without shit in your pocket, dude, I feel like Usain Bolt so quick.
All right, just out of curiosity, what does your day to day carry look like? What do you have with you in your pockets on a good day?
Just going to work?
On an average day. Yeah.
Going to work or not?
On your usual day.
No. Going to work or not going to work. There's 2 different
Not
days.
traveling.
Going to work.
Yeah.
Work keys. Mm-hmm. I'm not joking. They weigh about 3 pounds. My keys. Mm-hmm. My phone. Mm-hmm. I would say a Sharpie.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. Just in case. You never know. Headphone fucking thing. I should probably go grab my fanny pack. I haven't moved it since COVID.
Well, good.
Yeah. After the second phone, probably I think that's it. So maybe my charger.
You legit carry 2 phones?
Yeah, I had a phone that wasn't cellular or anything. It was just to play one game.
Why don't you just install the game on the other phone?
Because at that point, it was on my Apple ID, my game center, and I switched to an Android base, and they didn't transfer information. No, I tried.
For the data.
Yeah,
that's why.
It was just the data.
I was like, you could get the game, but you don't have your
3 years of data,
Jesus.
and I didn't want to. Like, it was a lot of work.
Okay, I get it.
Then I figured it out. You hook up your Facebook, and now
they link the profile.
Now the data can be transferred.
Then Mafia Wars, you're all good.
No, it was Battle Bay. Battle Bay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, it could get heavy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe sunglass case too. Like I had the Ray-Ban, so I always carry the case too.
Oh, I forget you're one of those guys. Yeah. All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I hate wearing those Ray-Bans because they're so fucking expensive. But damn, are they nice glasses?
I'll say big city, wallet, money situation. I don't go to the city very often. I very reluctantly go.
But if you did, would you
ever
do it? Would you ever be safe about it?
For example,
get that brosier up here or something?
What? The breast mount?
The breastplate with the money?
No, I do my standard, which is like my usual carrying items. It's just my keys, which is not 3 pounds
wallet,
worth.
Money.
No, I know. It's my keys, my wallet, which is like the sleeve, which just contains cards. I don't carry cash. And then my phone, and my headphones, and that's about the only things I carry. But I'm in the city, and it's on because like David, I only really do that like on a trip.
Yeah,
that's not just I'm not wandering around in a city constantly. I don't do butt pocket anymore. I used to when I was younger, but not so much for security. It's more out of like my health Because
Yeah,
like when you
'cause it
sit down,
fucks up your back,
depending
yeah.
how fat your wallet is, or even how just having the wallet in that pocket, it fucks up
amount
your
of pressure
posture.
that you're fucking up and lifting it's fucking up your back.
Yeah.
100%.
And as I've gotten older, my spine alignment is just fucked.
So, it's funny you say that. I was always a front pocket wallet guy until maybe 4 years ago, where I found out slim wallets, just like a couple cards, ID, done. And then I started doing back pocket. And then last year, before COVID, I was like only wearing shorts. I would only wear pants for shows.
Right. It's so funny.
And then I would put it in my back pocket. But then, like, with shorts, the shorts I wear, they're like basketball shorts, you know?
Yeah.
I don't wear cargo pants.
Loose.
Yeah. Where you have a back pocket. So it's like I never even, like,
That wasn't an option.
like I don't even put it in my back pocket unless I'm doing a show. And then it's like 3 hours max where I have my wallet. And I only have my wallet because it has my key card where I, put it on against the key card reader to open doors.
But yeah, so like I'm generally a front pocket kind of guy. So.
I am a big advocate though. If you do have a wallet and a big wallet, get a chain.
That's fair.
Get a chain.
I
Get a chain.
I get it.
Fucking looks so cool. If you get in a
That
fight,
was a trendy look.
If you get in a fight, unclip it, wrap it around your
fucking
fist.
Ghost Rider that stuff. Wrap it
Also,
around.
someone pulling money out. Walk faster. But gets pulled.
Did you just have an orgasm? That whole thing just closed eyes. What just happened?
I was coming.
Oh god.
All right.
We're almost done here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Number 17. What would you do for a No. What would you do if you found a brown paper bag with $1,000 in it on the street?
Now, money is very trackable. The little serial number,
As we've established,
super easy
with
to
our
find.
$1 million bill. Sorry.
The
Continue.
The Kenyan $1 million bill. But yeah, I would definitely turn it in. I would have to. Like that money can be traced now, so I would turn it in.
I would say that quantity, I would turn it in.
I mean, any quantity, honestly.
If I found any quantity,
I mean,
if you found like a loose 5,
I'd probably
like
be okay.
or like
I mean,
anything under a 20.
COVID though, now it's like I don't want to touch anyone.
Pre-COVID, what would you do?
Probably up to, if it was just like a single bill.
Yeah,
Up to whatever single bill.
like $100 bill.
But if I found like a bunch of 20s for up to 1,000,
if it was like a stack in a paper bag,
Yeah.
I would not keep that.
Also, could be drug money.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be
It could be marked. You could take it, and then someone's gonna key in on you, and they're gonna track you,
Yeah, and then they're gonna kill you.
and watch too many movies.
Yeah, that shit happens. Next
But yeah,
question.
turn it in.
Do you have any cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin? Where can you use that kind of money? I don't. I got into that little bit of crypto or like trading stuff.
Oh, like
last year.
E-Trade kind of stuff?
Yeah, last year. Bitcoin's like super fucking big now. The only problem I have with digital cryptocurrency is at some point that money will be worthless because electricity will just stop. There'll be a giant EMP that takes out all computers, and then what's your money worth?
As movies, books, and media.
What's that one
Has told us
show was?
A revolution.
Yeah, where the power goes out. I get it. I feel like the government's trying its hardest to discourage that. And is someone really gonna buy Bitcoin versus like just stealing your credit card number on the black market?
Don't know.
That's what I say.
I'll say
I don't have any, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I too don't have any, but I also I know this probably isn't accurate to say, but I'll say I kind of view it as like trendy money. like David said, it'll depreciate immediately at some point.
I don't
it'll
even
be worthless.
know why it's worth so much.
I don't
now.
I don't quite get it.
If you can't really, you can sell it, but then you're taking an income, and then you're paying taxes on it. How does the government view that taxable? Is it going to be more than 30%?
I mean, like that's like the rule of thumb for me. If I don't understand it, I'm not going to get involved.
Not worth it.
Which is how I treat this. But then again, like I could be missing out on a lot of money.
Yeah.
Potentially. Like that's why I know.
Isn't anything I do as a transaction without money digital anyway? So my money's already digitized. Like my bank account, isn't that digitized money?
I mean, technically, it's like, it is a number value that represents
it's something system that has placed a value on my money.
Yeah. Well,
according to other systems.
Right. Yeah. No, it's all make believe nonsense.
It's like, isn't mining illegal? Like mining Bitcoin? Like I just don't like.
I'm like, to make me look even more stupid.
They should make a movie called Blood Bit.
Blood Bit?
Like Blood Diamond.
It's a sequel to that Leo DiCaprio thing.
Oh my God. Can you imagine Leo?
That would be so
being in Bitcoin?
Goofy. All right. To further highlight how stupid I am, I'm going to say, like,
what the fuck's Bitcoin?
Even go, like,
no,
I don't understand it.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't.
But then, like, to even more just delve into all that, like stocks and like trading and all that. I understand there's a lot of money to be made, but it is so beyond anything I can comprehend that like
a lot of money to
like to start, and then you just have to know how to navigate and read and all, and like I don't understand any of that. So I know that's a little millionaires, billionaires. That's money in there.
The kind of people we are, we can't even imagine the millionaire.
I'm too stupid to get it. So
you're not too stupid. There's no reason for you to care enough to learn or understand.
I'm too stupid, and I just.
It's like being a pilot. You're not stupid enough to be a pilot, but you just never had that aspiration.
Like I'm perfectly capable of, but I just
it's not your stupid.
I'd rather
you just have no
focus on other things.
There's no push for it.
Yeah.
Last question. Go ahead, buddy.
Last one. Number 19. Imagine you have won $1 million. Who will you tell? What will you do with the money?
I would probably tell Sam.
And then I would
our stream would blow up.
Oh, really? $1 million, though.
It's not a lot of money now, actually.
Outright. But I think, for us, to receive in one sum immediately, that's impactful.
So it'd
that's
be like
a lot.
$1,350,000 because you get taxed.
I mean, that's still more than nothing.
No joke. Google put out a contest saying it would give out $800 or $500 if you buy a phone and you're entered automatically, but the actual amount is 700 and something to offset the tax that you would have to. I'm like, Google, thank you.
So that's nice.
So you're gonna get taxed on your winnings, but
that's not what they tell you. So they'll tell you what you're gonna end up with rather than like the imaginary.
By the way, your $500 is gonna be taxed. And it's
I appreciate that.
$350.
That's like when you.
That's amazing.
That's
right?
that's why I hate sales tax.
Yeah.
You should include that in the price.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's $4.99, but then it's $7.
Stuff online.
Yeah, they don't fuck around. They just tell you straight.
I remember like 3 years ago, Amazon never had any tax, and now it's like, well, there's probably some tax, by the way.
Yeah, it's like
very quietly estimated tax.
Yeah.
But yeah, $1 million is not a lot. But I don't.
Dude, you're crazy.
I don't think it's a lot now, dude.
No, I get it, but it's just I'm picturing it as like.
Okay, you get $1 million.
It's like no strings attached.
You're probably going to buy some meat farm so you can have an unlimited supply of steak.
Okay, I'm being realistic about it. I know it's not like, I can quit working. This is life money now.
In California, you can't even buy like an amazing home and keep it funded for that long.
David.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm giving myself perspective. $1 million objectively in the grand scheme of things. Like corporations and everything, it's not a lot. As an individual who did not have $1 million,
I mean,
immediately receive, even if it's taxed and it's less
$0 and then having $1, you're having 100% more money. That's objectively. That's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying, like, it's not a lot anymore.
You can't live off of it, but that is a nice just chunk of change that you just get for no reason.
You're gonna win $2 million?
You just did your. Yeah, right. We differ on things.
I'm just saying that it's like the way people are with money. Most lottery winners fucking go broke within the year.
No, absolutely, because it's like
I'm not blaming the winning of the money. I'm blaming the person.
Yeah. No,
for being a dumb fuck. Asshole.
Yes.
Piece of shit.
Man, I value that you have a different view on things, but I would say like, yeah, because like, you know, that is when I hear myself talk, I want to kill myself.
Yeah,
I'm like, I sound like a broken record. I'm like, I get it. Because like, you know, they're like, it's money they didn't have. So of course they're like, well, I'm not responsible enough to use this correctly. So it's like they make bad decisions because it's like it's temptation. You get a thing and you don't know what to do with it.
Was the question just like who would you tell? Or no, the second part.
Who would you tell?
What would you do is the second part.
Yeah, so it does kind of deal with it.
No.
So that's why a lot of like, you know, lottery winners and stuff, it's all bad news. Yeah. Every time you hear about somebody like, oh, I won $1 billion. And it's like, and then it's always like they either died or they're homeless.
Yeah.
Or just something awful, like someone killed them for the money, they told the wrong person, or just, it's just.
I mean,
it's so much stuff that it's just like they don't.
10 seconds
it's
into
ridiculous.
Getting that check, I'm fucking depositing it. No one can touch it. The next day, it's like, I'm going to probably put at least $800,000 of that money into a, like, CD or a certificate account where I can't touch it for like 10 years and let it grow. Done. And then at $200,000, probably move to an apartment, pay it off for like 3 years. Not a house, an apartment. Yeah.
Right.
Buy some cameras, that's for sure. Because you know why? Compared to that much money, cameras are nothing. Right now during COVID, that's about it because I can't do much else.
Okay, just taking the society thing out of the equation, like if it was just like regular day, nothing, you know, catastrophic happening in the world scenario, would it be any different?
Not the saving part, not the certificate part, because I'm just making money no matter what. And the more you put into it, the better. Probably drink a lot more beer.
Oh, yeah.
But even before society, I wasn't even doing much, or I didn't enjoy doing.
Before society?
Before the COVID society.
Before the collapse.
Before the collapse of Planet of the Apes. But yeah, that's about it.
I think I would try to save it, and then just like, first of all, I would tell my family, my immediate family. I would tell my immediate family. And like, you know, divvy up a little bit.
Just picture your dad being like, hey, you owe me $1 million.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Give me all the money.
Friends, I might tell David. Maybe.
Sam would buy a new car, that's for sure.
No, I don't care about any of that.
He would.
It would be music stuff.
He wouldn't even drive anymore. He'd fly. His helicopter would land in the parking lot.
Like, you know, fantasy scenario. I would tell my immediate family, my BF, my boyfriend.
We were making it.
Yeah, and like I would try to save. That's family.
Where's the marriage certificate?
Don't shut up. Yeah, and I'm like, I would try to save it. Knowing me, that would be a hopeless disaster.
I would definitely try to spend $200,000 of it.
Right. I would buy a couple. I would want to think I would buy a couple things just for myself as a treat, and then like just try and save it and stretch it. Like not stretch it, but like, you know, make it last a little longer. Because you know, $1 million. If you don't spend $1 million constantly, that'll go really fast. Because you know you don't have that experience,
and you can't buy more than you can afford. Because people are like, I'm going to buy $1 million house. Do you know how much $1 million house costs to
keep?
maintain?
Yeah. That's upfront
Like,
cost.
that's-
not long term.
That's electricity to multiple rooms, like your landscape. You're gonna mow your fucking lawn? No, you're not. Like your pool, like all that shit costs so much money.
Realistically, you should buy a house or anything that you would normally be able to afford, but then like that would just be the upfront cost, and then just account for like all the maintenance stuff. So
Truly, if I really wanted to, I would buy 2 properties.
really,
Yeah,
one for you and one for
No.
rent.
And then I'd hire
Lease.
another company to handle them. Done.
Interesting. Now, would you live on the second property?
No, I wouldn't live on any of the properties.
Oh,
Because, dude,
you're just landlord.
Isabel's a student. I don't have to pay for it. Like, the rent is the rent. That's what I would do. I would buy, nothing would change. I would buy properties and just take income. That's it.
You just keep,
But not
keep
houses. Not houses.
Property.
Condos. Condos. Because I don't want to pay property tax.
Well, sounds like you've already given it more thought than me. So
I've the delusional self of like from 10:30 to 11:30 where I'm just laying in bed thinking about, God, I wish I had money.
man, that is not a facet of my personality at all. I'm just like within my means. I'll think of
you're
that.
probably like, I should have punched that person today, but I didn't.
It's more
so I'm gonna
small
dream about it.
I don't have financial kind of.
I don't either, but when Isabel makes 6
You
figures, I
say
will.
that, but then you say
No, that's what I said. Like when I admit it. Like
Anyway.
when Isabel makes money and I don't have to make any money.
$1
we're
million.
fine.
David would save and invest, and I would try to save.
But mostly they
And probably-
give it all away.
Yeah, probably. Like I would probably try and use it to help around.
You wouldn't buy like a Sizzler or something?
No, what?
That'd be awesome.
No.
Having your own Sizzler. He's like, God damn, I could go to Sizzler
I'm like,
every day
I could
and eat.
own an Applebee's.
I could walk in and people would just be clapping for me. I would do an
On
open mic
command?
night at an Applebee's, and that's all I do.
I was like,
Now
okay.
it sounds like, oh, maybe I should do a karaoke bar.
no,
Maybe I should do a professional busking
no.
platform.
Why? Never mind.
I bought this little piece of land.
Anyway.
Okay, that's all we
There's
have time
money.
for today.
Money talks.
Part 2. Thanks
Yeah.
for watching and listening.
Keep drinking, keep listening. Beer Me That Beer is a San Diego-based craft beer YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and podcast show.
And for more of us, check out beardmethatbeer.com. That's beardmethatbeer.com. If you want to reach out directly to us, email us at bmtbinfo@gmail.com. That's bmtbinfo@gmail.com.